Two of mine and 3 ferrets in the house myself, and while most of them get along, my little girl ferret, Itty Bitty, has something against my mother's little black cat. Always goes after Fuzzball for some reason. Yeah, see, that right there, that statement right there, you start seeing through. Oh, most of them get on. And most people would then assume, oh, but the cats go after one of the ferrets. It's not perfect harmony. It's like, no. It's the other way around. The ferrets will go after the cats. Again, I'm fairly certain the ferrets don't have a concept of fear. Or if they do, their fear response is attack. They are extremely... I can hear something breaking something outside. Let me go and deal with that. Like, what do? You wretched little creature. Come over here. Ow. Okay, maybe I should pull my shield out. Pump. How rude. Always breaking my stuff. There we go. I really need to deal with that. I do need to deal with defenses, but I'm not sure if that's what we're going to be working on just yet. It's all fine. It's all fine. Right. I see a request for a recap in chat. We may take care of that. Always keeping me up, you are, Aavak. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. If I said I was truly sorry, it would be a lie. And I don't like lying. Yep, she will chase her up and down the house and stairs to the point I have to hide the cat. Her other cat, Sweet Pea, will at least hiss and defend herself, but Fuzzy just screams. Well, yeah, I'm fairly certain. I don't know. It's like Tilly is massive. And you know, if the ferrets and Tilly got into a scrap, I'm not actually sure that Tilly would win, but the ferrets would not necessarily get through that without being badly hurt, and you know that was a big concern when Tilly was first introduced into the household. But the reality is, Tilly just does not know how to deal with them at all, and will just run away. And in lieu of them getting on really well, that's the next best option. Is that Tilly is just nope.jpg out of any encounter with them. But at this point, she's getting a little bit more curious, and she'll sniff them through the cage bars, and occasionally we test the waters, and maybe you know, one of the ferrets will be scurrying around the ground until it'll be up on the couch, but she's still a little bit skittish when that happens. She's still like, oh, whoa, no, it's moving too fast, and then starts jumping up onto the back of the couch, and then just trying to climb the walls and so on and so forth. Yeah, she doesn't like it when she knows there's nothing between her and them other than air. She is interested and will nose boop them and kind of sniff them when there's a cage in the way. When there isn't, nah, I don't think she's a big fan yet. Not yet. Maybe eventually though. That is the hope. Right, let's top you up, please and thank you. The last time she encountered Ares when he was free, she backed up and her ears went back. Well, yeah, to be fair though, Ares, the girls are smaller than her. And so at least she has that going for her. Ares is as big as she is. And like 8,000 times stronger. The only reason Ares is in his cage is it's honestly because he's too lazy to want to be out of that cage. I mean, to be fair, the Ferret Nation cage is built to be ferret-proof. But I've always wondered just how ferret-proof that cave truly is. Because I've seen Ares bend bars before. Not quite as thick bars. But he didn't look like he was trying the first time. Alright, let's drop off the Great Orphies. There we go. Alright. Not going too badly. We've got some steel tools. Extremely happy for that. Iron tools. Extremely happy for that. Now, we do need to make a bit more bronze, if we can. Now, I actually forget what we were collecting the bronze for, though. What was I upgrading? Or maybe... Oh, no, it was the kegs, of course. Yeah, we wanted more fermenting barrels. And we've got more fermenting barrels, so now that's a really nice thing. Now, there are a bunch of things that we can work on. We've got the stonecutter table. And that stonecutter table is going to allow us to do some great things. I mean, right now, the main thing is we can make a sharpening wheel. So that was nice to enhance the forge. But other than that, whilst in the presence of the stone-cutting table, we can build some really nice items. Some really nice items. But we can only build them with the stonecutter nearby. Which is a bit of a potch, actually. Mainly because it needs iron. So I guess what we're probably going to do is I'm probably going to need to get a little bit of iron. Because I want one stonecutter to always be here. I don't want that to be moved around a little bit. But you know what? I've got 2 iron in here, so I'm going to take 2 iron. And that 2 iron is going to come with me where I go. We are going to be sailing a lot in today's video. Well, today's stream. My plans are... Yeah, I think ultimately my plans are going to be we're going to take our ship up. I would like to further explore this island. I want to know the shape of it. I really, really want to know the shape of this island. So we are going to explore up here a little bit. Because who knows, there may be a swamp a lot closer than Wraithguard. And if there is, I kind of want to go to it. Now we know the shape of this, it just makes more sense to go up and around to there and then back again. Rather than going all the way down and all the way around. That was interesting so that we know how many areas of plains there are. But that's not where we want to be. Also, I kind of want to explore this island in much more detail. There's so much more of this island that I don't know, and it may actually be useful for me to just run and explore the map a little bit. Might find a bunch of ruins, could pop in there, do a little bit of exploration, that kind of stuff. It would probably be useful. I'm not going to lie, it would probably be useful. And same up here. There's lots of little places, but I don't need any circling cores right now. Or at least I don't need many. The other things I need, most things I can just bring with me. For example, the bonfire, I can just come back and grab certain cores. The only stuff I actually need to carry with me is metal. That seems to be the main thing, and the only thing that I can see so far that you absolutely need, you cannot get by without. If I want to make any wooden poles or anything like that, I am going to need a forge. So that's worth noting. So how do they differ then? What is the importance of these items? Do they just look different? I'm gonna quickly do a bit of testing before we get down to everything. Let's have a quick look. I'm just gonna pop that back in there for a moment. All right, so those poles. I need just regular wood for this. Let's pop down an instance of every type of support that we've got and see what kind of difference they do. One. Nine. These. There we go. 2. Well, that's even shorter. I would say. Shorter and narrower. Actually, I should go and grab a little bit more. We'll just use 2 meters. 2 meter poles. Because otherwise core wood will massively skew this. Then we want 2 meter core wood poles. Is there any discernible difference? Because I'm feeling that iron shod... I think it's called shodding. Well, iron reinforced poles should be more structurally sound. So let's grab my repair tool. See it like okay. Would you say that that is more supportive or not? I'm not sure I would say it was more supportive, honestly. A Viking is officially what Valheim Aavak would be named now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Also, Aavak, have you seen the Valheim Plus mod? I haven't actually looked into any mods for Valheim yet, no. To back up the worlds, yeah, you just go to the folder. Let me just quickly find it out for you, because that is a fair question. Let me see if I can remember where it was. I think it was in app data, local low, and Iron Gate. Okay, so if you go to app data, basically if you're on Windows, I assume this is only on Windows at the moment. I don't know though, but on Windows, you go to your file browser, type in the location in the kind of search bar. It's not really a search bar, but the location bar. %, app data, APPDATA, %. Then go to local low. It may take you just in, like the first time you type app data, it may actually drop you in a different folder. It may put you in roaming, app data roaming. In that case, just go up one directly level. Then go back down into local low. Then you should be able to find a folder in there called Iron Gate. And in Iron Gate, there will be a folder called Valheim. Copy that entire folder and just stick it in another folder somewhere on your hard drive. Just, you know, as a backup. And then should anything go wrong with your game, you can just restore it from that. That's basically then a local backup for you. This game is developed on Linux and has a very good Linux. Oh, that's fantastic to hear. The Toric, that is absolutely fantastic. To be fair, though, quite a lot of games are developed on Linux. Developed on and developed for are two different but very important. There's a very important difference, sorry. It's a nuanced difference, but an important one. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I hope that helps. Alright, well, I don't notice any big difference here. So what we're going to do is the next thing is to check if that's offering the same level of support by just grabbing these blocks and starting to tile them up. I'm going to pop a ladder here. Because I should be able to rise these up high enough that I start seeing them change color. And then we can compare the color change. Am I really missing a plank? Wow, I am. That's annoying. I'm going to grab some wood. I should have a fair bit of wood over here in the fuel chest. 30 will do. That's wrong, that's resin. I'm not going to build much with resin. But I want to know what the use is of these. If it's purely cosmetic, that's absolutely fine. But I would like to know. Can I slide that across? No, I cannot. There we go. I can do this, though. Maybe. No, I cannot. Never mind. Let me pop this on this side, then. That might help. I may be able to jump up onto that. I can jump, like, stupid high. Because my jump skill's nice and developed at this point. I want to see when this starts going green. Color other than green. It really doesn't seem to look like it is. It might be more things built off of So I've not really properly looked into how structural integrity works. Well, for example, in 7 Days to Die, structural integrity vertically is infinite. If you're just building a straight pole, as long as it's straight, it will be infinitely supported. If it goes from the ground level up, doesn't matter. It's perfectly stable. But this game may have something similar, where as long as it's vertical, it doesn't matter. But it's when it starts moving out horizontally that it starts to change. So let's have a look at that. Perfectly stable so far. Still, starting to be less stable now. There we are. That's starting to update properly now. Okay, so the higher up it's going, the much less stable it's becoming. Silas Jeniverse. Hello, Aavak. Have you heard the news about Vampire the Masquerade's publishers getting rid of the dev team and putting the game on indefinite hold? What? Vampire 2? Wait. Sorry. Are you talking about the tabletop RPG? Or are you talking about the game RPG? Oh, wow. No, I missed that completely. Oh my goodness. How I missed that, I do not know. Well, I do kind of know. I've not been very active on Twitter the last couple of weeks. But no, that is awful news. Absolutely terrible news. I met a lot of the dev team at PDXCon. Yikes. Okay. I know you can build higher. I think it holds more weight. Someone built the Eye of Sauron. That does not surprise me. From my own playing, it feels like distance to ground with each type of item adding its own horizontal and vertical value. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was going vertically, but it seems completely stable. Well, actually, is that more green? Yeah, sort of. What I wanted to see is whether this transferred more betterer, basically. Let's pop this here. So I can compare the colors as they go. Right, that's a nice bright yellow. Okay, I'm going to take that away. And we're going to build this now over here. On this support, and then also on the core wood as well. So I can properly see just how much of a difference it's going to make. Dunk. Same on the core wood, please. What? Oh. The game was wigging out because I was on the line. I thought I was being invaded by ogres again. Oh, by trolls, rather. I was a little bit concerned. Not gonna lie. Let's have a look at you then. See how you update. So, by this point on the regular wood, it is deep yellow. It's probably... Okay. I'm thinking that these two are one step behind. So it's just one tier less, or rather one tier more supportive, I guess. I mean, that's nothing to be sniffed at, I suppose, but I was kind of expecting it to be a bit better. Oh, there's fog, though. Let me go and grab some more stuff. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest, Mango Poke. Also, hello, mate. How you doing? I'm really, really saddened by that news. I don't think gravity makes floating things explode. Well, it depends on how high up the floating thing was before gravity decided to assert dominance. I mean, you know, if you fall from far enough, you're gonna explode. Let's go back with all of this wood. This should be enough. Put down a little bit of food. But the wood didn't fall, Aavak. It just exploded. Use your imagination. It's fine. It fell and then exploded. Also, this is Valheim. Doesn't need to have the same laws of physics. Maybe gravity expresses itself via explosions here. I mean, that's... Can you say that wouldn't be the most Viking thing ever? It's like, well, yeah, you know, gravity in your boring old Midgard. Yeah, things just fall down. Gravity in Valheim, though, they explode. Because we're Vikings. I'd accept this as law. Valheim gravity is significantly more metal. Let's grab you. Some people bounce when they fall from a great height. To be fair, everything probably bounces a little bit if it fell from really far. Lucky day, dear. Very lucky day. Why could I? Oh, it was saying require. I wish it would give a bit more of an indicator of what requirements were missing. I was probably outside the reach of my workbench. Mind you, I should have realized that. Hang on, I chopped down like 2 trees. How could I use all of that up on one piece? Shenanigans, I call. Well, I was thinking about explosive gravity. That's my defense. It's a very important thought. Okay. Structural integrity here is updating slowly. Yeah, it does seem that the structural integrity here is 1 step behind. Yeah. Yeah, definitely 1 step behind. Okay. Now the other thing we could do here is replace this with 1 long piece, and then so the core wood is still going to be better because I can get rid of these 2 sections here completely. I mean, realistically, I could get rid of those ones as well, but I needed the smaller sections because I wanted to measure the difference that would cause. This is as big as the iron sections can be. But this can be entirely that size. And I feel that would make for a stronger structure. If I place that there, I should be able to cheaply replace it completely because it is now still supported. That. And I get rid of that. Now that should give the core wood the stronger... yeah. So that length is still king. The iron is nice. So perhaps if core wood wasn't going to fit with your build, my goodness, this fog though. Is Pyramid Head going to come out of nowhere and just crush me with a gigantic sword. And I say crush because honestly a sword that big is going to do crushing damage. It's not going to cut you. It's just going to pulverize you. Ironwood is much better than corewood. I'm just doing the wrong test. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much for the hint not to abandon the experiment on the basis of these findings. I will continue to consider the ways that maybe I need to look into this. But right now I can't really think of what other tests I could do, really. Length is kin. Oh my. Now do the horizontal test. How long can a free hanging beam be? Actually, that's a good call. You know what? Let me take these away. I'll have a look at that. I can definitely hear someone, though. Is someone beating up my stakes? Yeah, you are. No. Naughty. Actually, did I just ask if someone was beating up the stakes? The stakes were clearly beating you up. Good stakes. Okay, so they are already helping a bit. I'm going to go and have a sleep so that we can get back to daylight for the testing. I just want to know, the reason why I'm checking this is because I'm about to head out a long way away. And I'm trying to decide whether there's a reason for me to bring a forge with me. And the reason I ask that is that I can't transfer metal. If I want to build something out of wood, that's easy enough. I can just pop through a portal, grab the wood, bring it back across. If I want to... sorry, not a forge, but the metal needed... actually, is it even metal? No, it's just circling cores, so I guess I don't need it. Though I probably might want to bring a forge anyway, because I need the forge to be able to build the ironwood pieces, do I not? Yeah, I need the forge. So, I probably need kilns and furnaces just to smelt the metal on site, because I can't portal the metal around. The metal's over here and I'm building somewhere else. Well, I either need to have brought the metal and had the foresight of what I would need, or I need to manufacture it on site because I'm not moving it around otherwise. Which is a bit of a pain, actually. But I do like it. It gives you a reason to need to move around with the boats. Well, see, Nine makes the point that there is a reason to build a forge there, so you can repair your tools. I can do that through a portal. I take a portable portal everywhere. I take the materials to build a portal, and I have a portal I can bind it to wherever I go. So if I need to repair my weapons, I can just hop through the portal, repair it back at base. But if I want to build something out of metal, I need a forge, and a forge is made with metal. So I can't bring that through the portal to manufacture the forge and then be able to build on site. I need to have taken the metal for the forge with me. I can hop back, I believe, to gather the materials to build a furnace and a kiln. Yeah, because they only require stuff I can move through portals. The circling cores I can carry through portals. But if I want to build stuff on site, I'm probably going to need to build it at a place where I have access to the ore. Or I've bought a massive amount of metal bars, but if I'm building in the swamp, I'm going to be building out of iron, and I'm going to be gathering the iron on site. The stonework, I'm going to need 2 iron for that, guaranteed. Because if I want to build with stone, I need the crafting bench nearby, and that requires metal to make. Hi Kaiser, hello mate. Thank you so much for the Prime, buddy. 21 months, the Allfather, buddy. Really appreciate the support. But let's try out building some extended support. So let's go with this. Let's see how that works. We want a vertical beam there. Let's see how that works. And then we want a... horizontal beam. Pop that there, it's fine. Right. Now let's have a look at you then. Green, green. Ooh. Weight-wise, this is awful. Okay, so I'm starting to wonder if maybe the mechanics of structural integrity are more akin to 7 Days to Die than I realized, and that is that every item has a certain... Because I don't build the beams in my inventory and then place them somewhere, so I can't have a look if it's got like statistics that I can have a look at. I don't know how heavy it is, for example. But it seems that that is significantly heavier, and thus it's exerting more strain on the system that I've got there. Hawk, I know I've got an iron post going to standard wood. I'm specifically testing that. There it is. Raw metal is cargo. A no-no for a warrior. Tools are a potential weapon. A yes for a warrior. Odin approves tools, and for cargo, use a boat. And do at least something, Viking. I see how you're going with that. Yeah. So, an item's weight has an impact. It's good to know. So it isn't strictly just distance from the ground, from the perfectly stable area. Let's see how this would attach over here, though. Let's drop some lava. Okay. How would this work? Interesting. That's perfectly stable, but this moving out horizontally, instantly unstable. Huh. Very interesting. I can only imagine that's the case here as well. Yep. Alright, so it does not like being built horizontally. Duly noted, though the last test, of course, is here. Alright. So the reinforced beams can support enormous amounts of weight that other beams cannot. But, other than looks, what is the point of building this beam? So far, that we do not understand. Okay. But where is the benefit? Perhaps going up? Let's do something like this to test it. It's very stable right now. Let's do something similar over on this side. Don't worry, peeps. I will be done with Viking building school soon. And then we will get to Viking other stuff. But first, building school. What I'm... Ooh. Oh. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, now that is fascinating. That is fascinating. That is perfectly grounded. Is that a bug? I'm not going to consider it a spoiler if chat advises me that it's a bug or not. If that is perhaps one of the advantages to this. It's not. Oh, okay. So we found where these differ. That is perfectly stable. That is as stable as if it was on the ground. Okay, so that's the perk. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Those of you in chat who knew the answer, I appreciate you holding your tongue while I was exploring it. I really, really do understand how hard that is sometimes. I have been in a couple of streams, in fact, a couple of Valheim streams recently, and seen people puzzling through things, and I knew the answer, and I knew I could save them like 5-10 minutes of work, but they were enjoying puzzling it out. So I both appreciate your perspective and the impatience of wanting to help, but I also appreciate it from the opposite side of being allowed to just see if I could figure it out myself. That is really good, because if you look here, this has now had time to update. That is growing increasingly less stable over there. But that, from this point, is as if it's on the ground. That is really, really interesting and very, very good. So for all intents and purposes, now let me have a look at this. This offers a couple of interesting possibilities, you know. There we go. Thank you. I would like to know, would that count for this as well? No, I want to build it up. Could I build core wood on top of reinforced iron? And would it be as stable? Because if it can be... Oh, wow. Now that is interesting. Mangaport, this might be heresy. I must inform the Inquisition. Exterminatus is witchcraft planet. Yep. No, that is going to afford some crazy build opportunities. But I've got another thing to test. We've got more testing to be done. We're not done yet. I want to know how high that effect can be sustained. Nope. No, come on. On the plus side, every time I'm fussing around with this, really, come on. I will eventually get it right. You know what? It's a lot easier if you're running up a wall, because you're effectively wall climbing now. Does that work over here? Because it turns green there. Still green here. If this goes back to blue, I'm going to be shocked. Well, now. By the time this is done, Aavak will be level 100 jumping and leaping over mountains. Indeed. It's basically Morrowind all over again. Now this is actually becoming heresy. Bentham, you're right to be concerned. This is legitimate heresy going on right now. So even though this is turning green... Oh, I wonder. Ooh, okay. So here's my working theory at the moment. I don't have enough iron to test it out. We're going to get more iron later on, and we will further for science this. This stuff is just begging for a Tower of Babel. Yes, I know, right? This is my working theory. I don't want to be corrected on this, because I will test it out later, but... the fact that this turns blue, whether it's just horizontal from one, like initially I thought, okay, so this one's blue, and then a horizontal line of them, although they turned green, it was as if this was built on top of this and both were blue. It was like it was extending the foundation. But now it's gone green up top. Now I thought that this might be green there, the same color as this, and that would have supported my initial theory. That horizontally, these effectively don't change the connection type. Like, you can have a number of them horizontally and they're not going to get weaker. But my working theory now is that while these building off themselves do have a kind of a natural limit to how far they can go. Because they are getting weaker, they're changing color, the more of them that are in sequence. So there is going to be a natural... There's going to be a limit to how many of these I can chain in sequence. That's my working theory number one. That might not be true, because we haven't got enough to test it. But that's going to be what I'm rolling with. Because, and this is mostly from a game design point of view, if that weren't the case, then this next part would be utterly broken. But I think that any piece connecting after a chain of successive iron reinforced posts will be treated... They're effectively acting like a pass-through. They're transferring whatever stability they have at the start of the chain to the end of the chain. So in this case, perfectly stable to perfectly stable. Now, if working theory number one isn't true, then this is utterly broken, because you could just make an enormous chain of them and then still build vast towers on top. You're only limited then by the amount of iron you have. But if working theory number one is correct, then that's a lot more balanced in game terms, because eventually you can't add another one of these without the entire chain just breaking, because these themselves are growing less stable over time. But as long as the first one is connected to something extremely stable, like the ground, then whatever you build at the end of the chain becomes perfectly stable. Ooh, the next thing to test after that then would be... If you have a perfectly, like, you use core wood as the end point of that chain, and then start a new chain of iron, and then another chain of core wood, you'd only... It's kind of like the whole Matrix thing. Time is... It's easier to count the number of instances than the amount of time that has passed, sort of thing. At that point, it would only be at every instance of core wood that the stability was decreasing by 1. That would allow for a ridiculously big build. Hello, Loot Lupus. Lieutenant Lupus, I think. It might just be Loot Lupus, though. How you doing? Love to see another Valheim stream. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. And Tech Kitten, how you doing? Thank you very much for the 11 months. I'll test all of this with stone. I guess I could. Oh, with Ty, you're right. I did... Well, there's one more thing to test, actually. That's a good point. Because I did test ironwood after a branch, and it turned instantly red. Horizontally, it turned instantly red. But I wonder... So, if I put this here... Can I just do this? Will you let me do this without me having to build a crazy contraption to get on top? Thank you. How is this going to support? Oh... Right. Yeah. Okay. That actually even further cements my belief that it is what I think. That ironwood will chain with itself for a while, and it'll have the normal kind of stability degradation of like a regular piece of wood building along itself. I.e., how many units from the ground am I? But if the ironwood is built on anything other than ironwood, it becomes incredibly unstable. Right. Aavak, I'm marathoning your Stardew Valley series right now. Thank you for saving me. It's been 1 year that... I'm terribly sorry to read that. Your video has been a huge help, for real. Thank you. You're more than welcome. I'm terribly sorry for your loss. There's a lot of that going around. I'm really sorry, but I'm glad that my videos are able to offer you a bit of distraction. What if I connect to the upper ironwood now? I will give a look. Let's have a see. Interesting. Oh, wait. That is... Wait, why is that blue? They weren't blue before. I must know. Okay, this is kind of throwing my theories off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Can I keep this just going forever? So let's try this then. I know it seems dumb, but let's just try it. Oh, it was blue before, was it? Thank you very much. I did miss that then in that case. There we go. The normal beams are degrading, yes.